solutions there, and the precipitates are settling in those settlers. And then behind that we have the sulfide reactors, the precipitation reactors, and the filter belts. And then we have this hydrogen sulfide production plant and the hydrogen plant and other processes connected to the metals recovery. And in front of us, those buildings are the crushers and the screens after that, so the material is being crushed there and that way. And we have quite long distances here now. It's about 3 kilometers or 2.5 kilometers from this point to the open pit. So it takes quite a long time if you take a tour of the whole area, and it's going to be even larger area in the future. And now on the right side, in front of us, there's this big round building, and that's the intermediate storage for the crushed ore. And that way. And you can see we have a lot of those conveyor belts. So here, this belt, you can see material moving on the belt. That is the material that has been taken from the primary heap, and it's going to the secondary heap. So this is one of the very long conveyor belt lines that we have. We are turning to our main road that takes us to the open pit, and on the right side of this road is another conveyor belt that is inside this. It's closed by this structure, and there's the conveyor belt taking the primary crushed ore from the primary crusher to the next crushing station. So we have on both sides of the road we have a conveyor belt, other one taking material to the other direction, and then on the left side we have the belt taking the material from the primary heap to the secondary heap. So that's another direction. And if there wouldn't be so much fog, you would see that on the left side, after the conveyor belt, we have a large construction site. So the base of the secondary heap, next heaps are being built. So there's a lot of earthworks going on, and we are also making the lining. The plastic lining is being assembled to be able to have this impermeable liner on the bottom of the heap. And soon we will hopefully or probably see all those big trucks, those dumpers that take the material to the crushers, and also we need quite a lot of construction material when constructing the secondary heap pad. So in this road we have a lot of traffic going on, very large vehicles, and we have our own trucks, and then we are using contractors also to do the transportation. So part of these trucks are owned by our contractors. one of those, our biggest trucks is coming ahead. So now soon on your left side you will see one of our biggest trucks taking material to be built, the building material for the secondary heap base. And the dimensions of our open pit at the moment, it's about 60 meters deep, and finally when we are in the deepest parts of the deposits, it will be around 500 meters deep, and the dimensions are 2 times 1 kilometer length and width, and finally it will be around 1.5 times 3.5 kilometers, this deposit. And then we have another one there next to the lake. We'll continue on, and on your left side you will see a building. There we have a large, this high building is used when repairing the big trucks, and also fueling station is here, and we have another office building with another restaurant also here, so some social buildings. Here you can see the trucks, few trucks are now on your left side next to the repair building. On your right side soon there will come the primary crusher. So to this large hole on the side of the building, the trucks bring the ore, and it is then crushed, and from the bottom of this building there is the conveyor belt leaving. And right in front of us there's the open pit, and this is quite a shame that it's so foggy, it's very difficult to see, but at least you saw some big trucks. It's probably no use stopping, but we'll go and make a turn at the sightseeing place. And you can see we have used old tires to mark our roads. So those are used tires that are on the side of the roads. One of those tires, if I remember correctly, the price is 20,000 euros, and if it's a good tire it lasts about a year, one tire. We'll go back. We have explosions, blasts 1 or 2 times a week, usually on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And on Fridays it's at 2 p.m. the blast, so they are now preparing the blast for this afternoon. And about the water management, a lot of water is also being gathered to the bottom of the open pit, so all the water that gathers there has to be pumped away, of course, so to be able to blast. And this water, since, as I explained, that the ore already has the microbes, already to this water that is collected in the open pit, there are small amounts of metals already in this solution, so we can't pump the water into the environment, so we use this as an additional water in the bioleaching circuit. So this, on the left side we have a quite large pond where we pump the water from the open pit and then further on to the bioleaching circuits, and that way. Take a closer look at the, let's go over here. Closer look at the trucks. Somewhere next to the trucks. The optimal in different phases of the leaching, what is the right amount of irrigation solution, what is the right air amount, and so on. So these small heaps are experimental heaps. From here, yeah. So we'll stop somewhere over here and go for that side. Yes, here. Okay, follow me. But most of it circulates again and again through the heaps. And we just came from here. This was the pond that you saw here. We took a turn. So this is the Uusilampi open pit, and this is the big road that we took. Here were the trucks in the parking area, and this is the secondary heap area. Here where you saw the small heaps over here, and the secondary heap will continue over here. So we are constructing this side, and after this has been finished, we will continue to this second area. And here is the lake and the other deposit, and we are taking the raw water from here. And here you can see, well, you could see if it would be clearer, here are the large gypsum ponds, so the waste materials are taken here. The irrigation solution is flowing to the heaps. For sections 1 and 2, you can see them now on the left side. It's a bit clearer. And at least yesterday when I was here, we had the primary heaps in front of us, but you never know, you can't really see them now. Well, yeah, they are there still. So, as I said, one of these heaps is 6 million tons of ore, and you can see those precipitates on the top. So some amount of precipitates is collected on the surface of the irrigation pipes and on the surface of the heap. But you can probably see those irrigation lines, so we have a lot of those small tubes on top of the heap to supply the water or the PLS solution. And if you soon look to the right, you can probably also see these kit-cut structures. So those kind of smaller heaps just next to each other. To increase the aeration, we have these ditches, lower sections of the heaps. You can see them quite nicely now when you look to your right. And these blue containers or such that you can see next to the heap when you look to your right now, those are the fans, the blowers. So we have one blower every 150 meters, so one section has 8 blowers in total. And every 25 meters we have this pipe going on the top of the heap. That's the irrigation main line. So the irrigation solution is taken with those to the small tubes. End of the heap, so we need kilometers and kilometers of these irrigation tubes, because we have so large areas where we have those tubes. On the top of the heap we have a irrigation tube every 60 centimeters, so it's a quite tight. We have a lot of tube going on top of the heap. And a lot of waste is also generated now. On the left side we have used irrigation tubes there. I think it's high enough. And now on the left side you can see the reclaiming of the old heap. So we have now different places. We have actually more than one. We have two and soon three contractors doing the disclaiming. Reclaiming, I mean, taking the material so that it can be taken to the secondary leaching area. So this is a quite old heap on the left side, section 2. And on the right side there's this conveyor belts. Other one is again taking the material to the other direction, the new material to the heaps, to the stacker, and then the old material goes with the other conveyor belt. And the main reclaiming operation is now ongoing on front of us. As we go on, you will see the excavators working on top of the heap and next to the heap. And then we have small mobile crushers that crush the biggest particles so that they can fit to the conveyor belt. And now you can quite well see also on the right side, you can see with the slopes the irrigation pipelines that provide the irrigation solution. On the left side, and the excavators bringing material to them. And just next to the reclaimer we have the stacker. So this blue structure here is the stacker, and it should be working. So if you look to your left side, when we go under the stacker, you can see the heap being stacked. Yeah, it is working. And this is our newest heap now on the left side, though this has just been stacked and the irrigation is just under construction. So in these heaps we don't have the irrigation yet. This is the construction of the irrigation pipelines is underway, and these heaps are already under irrigation that we have on the left side now. And as I told you, we use a lot of chemicals, and most of our chemicals come by railway. For example, the sulfur, the sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide, and limestone, they all come by train. And then we have some part of the chemicals also coming by truck, but most by train.